Today we're going to be comparing two hand grinders. We have the Aergrind by Knock and we have the Comandante C40 hand grinder. This one comes in at 160, I believe, and this one's 250 to 275 depending on the color of wood. This color wood here you will see at 275. So in this comparison video we'll go over features, we'll go over what I like taste-wise between the two grinders, how they perform compared to each other, all the features that go along into it, and I'll also be demonstrating grinding at roughly the same setting, and I will examine the particles here to kind of see how even the grind is at a particular setting on this. So first off, I just want to say welcome to Bean's Coffee Corner. This channel is designed to help you choose the coffee gear you want to brew with at home. There's a lot of options of gear to use and to purchase, so my goal with this channel is to review that gear for you so you get the best value with your money when you buy one thing and you don't have to keep buying other things to get an idea if you made the right purchase from the beginning. So a couple things with that is I ask that if you're looking at purchasing one of these, you use the affiliate links below. That I'll make a slight commission at no extra charge to you. That helps continue to fund my YouTube channel and help me do these reviews. I also ask that you please like and subscribe. That really helps me continue to produce more videos as well. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to go on the features on this one and the features on this one real quick. So features on this one, it has a little place to hold the handle here on the side. It's thin enough it slides into an AirPress and you can fit there. The lid is a metal lid and it goes on one particular way, and then the handle also goes on one particular way. You adjust the grind settings by holding the lid with one hand and moving this around with the other hand, and that's basically how you do it, and you basically go with the notch there. So basically you start at 0 or 12 on this one because it goes 1 to 12, and then one full rotation, and then to whatever number you want, and then to whatever dot you want in between there. So example, I'm going to be grinding today on setting 281, and what that means is 2 full rotations to the number 8 and to one dot after the number 8 there. So that's setting 281 right there. The catch tray here has a silicone O-ring, which is what keeps it on, and it just simply slides on. I had the bottom plate come off a few times on it, so I electrical taped. That's because I knocked the grounds loose. It's got a little grip here, so it's pretty easy to turn. To get a width radius of this one, I can almost get my fingernails to touch when I grip the entire grinder. On this grinder, I cannot even get them close to touch, so I hope that kind of gives you an indication on how wide that is. Here we have the Commandante. Both of these have a full covered lid, which means less spillage of grinds while you're grinding. It has a magnetic feature, so that lid just goes on in any way that you want to by simply a magnetic feature there. It's got a screw-on catch tray made out of catch cup made out of glass. It comes with 2 of these, a dark glass one as well with a screw-on lid, so you can store some beans in there. And it has a click adjustment wheel. So what that means is you have to have the lid on, and there's this little dial on the bottom, and you count the clicks for your grind setting. The pros and cons to both of these is the click setting is it's a little easier to get lost. You can't remember where you're at as easy as the number setting, but the click setting allows you to have more consistent grind from grinder to grinder and person to person. So if you ask, how do I use this, like how are you brewing this blank coffee from this coffee roaster, and somebody's like, I'm doing this method on the V60, 22 clicks, and it's going to be pretty consistent there. With this, the zeroing out the burrs can be at a different number, so it can kind of throw things off a little bit more in that. So like I said, this is about almost $100 difference, $80 difference depending on the one you go to. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take a few beans here. I got some old, by old I mean like almost 4 months old decaf beans, because I don't drink decaf very long, so this is going to be pretty easy to grind here. But I'm simply just going to throw a few in the Aergrind. I'm not doing this very precisely, I just want you to get an idea with how it grinds here. So simply just throw that on there, and it's pretty easy to grind. My wife grinds this quite often. It's a great first grinder in my opinion. I think I was really happy with that choice. I'm being quiet so you can hear the pitch of it a little bit better. Alright, so I'm going to leave that grind in there real quick. And this is the Commandant. I'm going to throw a few in there. My wife has not used this grinder, and I have fairly long hands and fingers, so I'm not super, grinding hasn't been super concerned. I find the best way to grip this thing, since it's a little bit bigger, is sometimes you can get the rubber bands that go around it, but if you grip right here on the seam, it helps it from spinning in your hand a little bit. I noticed that this grinder, out of all my other grinders, has quite a bit different of a pitch than the other ones. Overall, speed-wise, to grind the same amount of beans, I'm not seeing a significant difference that would put me toward one or the other. I can grind for a shot of espresso in about 60 seconds with this grind and about this grinder too. So we're going to go ahead and drop these grounds on this tray here so I can kind of get a little indication on how precise this is in comparison to the Commandant. And now, speaking of grind comparison here, I have brewed with these extensively and I get some pretty interesting results. This one is a good, decent, in my opinion, all-around grinder, intro grinder. I actually have it going to a friend here soon because he's going off to college. I wanted him to have a good hand grinder that could get him started on the journey of espresso if he chose to go down that route, but would be great for pour over. And I think this did a great job. It did better than, in my opinion, than my Baratza Siete. So I use this for espresso for the Flair Pro 2 and the Flair Classic for quite a while. The Commandant, I did not find that did well on a standard 58 commercial espresso machine. The reason for that is, like, I would jump from click to click. It wouldn't be as much precise adjustments as I need, so I'd go from 19 seconds to like 40 seconds in between those clicks in the couple tests that I've ran. I'm going to try it again with this one and see maybe if it was just a fluke those couple times, but I couldn't really get dialed in for espresso as well as that one. Now, granted, I still couldn't fully get dialed in with that as well. We're also going to go into customer service here. So I'm looking at these right now, and it seems like I was a little off on the grind setting. I think that was a little coarser than I would have liked it to be compared to the Commandant. But when you look at these, you have, on the air grind side of things, you have quite a bit of fines in there and some bigger chunks in there. And the uniformity on the Commandant is like absolutely insane in comparison. There's a lot less fines, there's a lot less bigger chunk. There's so much variety in the air grind in that. You can see those big chunks. This one, you can still see a few. It's not perfect, of course. It's not like every little piece is the exact same, but it feels so much better. It feels so much cleaner. It looks so much cleaner. It's kind of, you won't be able to see it with the camera that I'm filming with. Overall, the grind distribution is substantially better on this one than this one, as it should be for almost $100. When it comes into, this is the hard thing when it comes to purchasing these grinders, is they grind at the same time. This one definitely has the pro of being able to fit in an AirPress if you're going that route. This one just looks a lot better. It's got the wooden handle, it's got the longer arm, it feels good. Grinding, I love how you can see the grinds in here. The main thing that I've had with this is my friend got one of these. He ordered it directly from Made by Knock, and I don't like to bash companies too much, but his grinder did not work the way it was supposed to. Like, it would take so long to grind in compared to this one. Like, I'm talking like 10 minutes. Like, there was a problem with it. Like, you could not use it like it was meant to. Knock never responded to any emails or anything like that and did absolutely no customer service. I haven't had any issue with Commandant. However, I have chatted with them before on Instagram, and they've responded very quickly with anything. I've gave some of my feedback. They watched another video of mine when I reviewed this, and they had quick responses to everything, and we had a good dialogue on Instagram. Made by Knock, no response whatsoever. The one thing I don't like about this grinder is, well, obviously I had the issue with this bottom part coming off. That's because I knocked it on the table, and that's how I loosened up the grinds to make sure they all come out, which makes me a little nervous with this one because it's glass. But the O-ring needs replaced on this occasionally. I did have a problem where this was literally coming off while I was grinding because the O-ring was worn and used because I was using it multiple times a day. This one, there is no O-rings to my knowledge. There's nothing that's going to need replaced or fixed anytime soon. I definitely like the adjustment version better of this because it's easy to remember where you're at than the click adjustment on this. So here's where I'm going to go with this. And I'm getting rid of this one because it's a great entry level all the way around grinder, and I think it's great for this kid that's going off to college that is going to be taking this grinder. It got me into espresso, it got me into pour overs, it did a good job with no complaints, great for traveling, all that stuff, collapsing the AeroPress, phenomenal. This one does not do very good at espresso. It's $100 more. But it makes some of the best pour overs I've ever had. It has some of the best results in grind that I've ever had. It looks great, so I'm keeping this one. It's going to give me the best pour. I don't make pour overs a ton, but I'm going to pick this over probably any of my electric grinders anytime soon that I have floating around my apartment. So this is the way to go for that, and that kind of got me excited about using the Commandant, and that's why I bought another one, because it was so good at pour overs that I wanted that floating around for pour overs and for travel. So I hope this kind of helped you a little bit. This is great entry level. This is the one I would go to. I'm saying this for two reasons. If you're going to buy any of these, I'd highly recommend using Prima Coffee's website. Yes, I am affiliate. Yes, if you click one of the links in the description, I will make commission if you purchase one of these. Currently, they're both out of stock, so I don't know how good that will help you. But the reason why I would recommend especially buying this one through Prima is because if you have an issue with this, Prima has great customer service and they will take care of you and your problems will be solved. If you buy it through Knock, you might get it a little bit cheaper. You're going to have to wait as it gets imported from overseas. And if you have an issue, you're out of luck and you probably won't hear from them. Hopefully that's increased, but both my friend has reached out to them, got no response, and I reached out for him and got no response. So I'd highly recommend using a company in the US to purchase one of these, so then you don't have to worry about customer service, because Prima's customer service is top notch. I ordered O-rings from them. They replaced this lid when they upgraded the lids from the old one to the new one. So I've been very, very happy. If you have any questions with these grinders, if you want to see different ways to compare grinders in the future outside of this grind test, let me know, and I would love to consider doing that for you and be serve you in the best way I can and answer the questions you have. So again, please like and subscribe, and let me know any questions or comments you have in the description below. But overall, I love both of these grinders, and either one of them you're probably going to be happy with. So thank you so much for watching.